Okay,
Oh,
I'm back.
you're back already. That was fast.
I had to basically get the door because my friends came over because we're gonna revise later.
Oh, what are you studying for?
Uh, Algorithm and design.
Sounds fun. So, do you have time for this though?
I do because we weren't planning to start for another 20 minutes.
All right, let's go then. Let's go. Okay.
Let's go.
Where was I? Sigh. Ah, time to explain to you everything wrong about what you're doing in your Nix code. Make sure to pay attention and make some notes because I don't want to explain it again. System and lib.nixos system. All right, already? I don't know what either of these really are. I think I saw these in the compile mod, tech documentation, but I don't really know.
Yes. So
Off, yeah.
getting just right to interject, lib.nixos system is how you make your system configs when you're using flakes. So I don't think you've gotten to flakes yet, but the system is one of the arguments you can pass to lib.nixos system.
All right. And but I just haven't yet because I don't do flakes yet.
Yeah, you haven't really engaged with
Oh,
flakes.
yeah. And I noticed it's not even in the document list for a while or at all. Anyway, however, you should not do this. This is because look at this. Look at this, Isabel. I'm disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. It says because legacy input and will straight up be ignored. Is this on purpose?
Which one? The
Y-
typo?
Yeah.
No, I had dyslexia. I didn't even notice.
Oh, it's just that both times it said because. Ignored because of your auto-generated hardware configuration.nix file, which will set system for you. I see. So this system is set somehow from hardware configuration
Yeah.
nix file.
So
So
ideally, I
yeah.
want to push people into using modules rather than using special args and arguments that are passed from the builder. Ideally, we want everything to be a module.
Oh, you mean like what we're doing now with the configuration
Yes,
values?
pretty
Yeah.
much exactly.
Yeah, why would you make them args in a command line?
Uh, well, you could do it as args to the function, right?
I
I
see.
just feel like
You mean hard-coded
it's
args?
yeah, like, well, system would always be hard coded, right? But
Right.
ideally, you just wouldn't put it in lib.nixos system.
Ah, I see. That
Uh,
makes sense.
yeah,
And
it's also disencouraged when in the actual code itself. You'll see that a bit down.
okay. So to rectify this, we can instead set up Nix package's host platform to the desired system. And I'm looking here, outputs equals configuration. Uh, is this the host platform? Here it is. Oh, I see. So is this where Oh, I don't really know what's going on here. So I
Yeah,
don't know
so this
like
is
most of
flakes.
this. Oh, this is flakes.
This is flakes.
Ah, but it looks a little bit like the libeval system here where you pass it a list of
Yeah,
paths.
nixos system is a wrapper around lib.eval modules.
Ah, that makes sense because it looks very similar, but instead of taking in a list of paths, it can also take an attribute set which has the actual instantiation value of the
Exactly.
config, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. Where are you defining, oh, host platform, that's already defined somewhere else.
Yeah, that's from nixos, Nix packages itself.
All right, got it. So this is how we're going to pass this information, and this is how some people have been doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, Nix OS system, I see. So this is also, I'm a little confused. So this is a wrapper around eval, and here Oh, I see. Instead of using system, just like you said, you want to use Nix package's host platform.
Exactly.
Okay. And why is that better, or is that what you explain here?
Uh, so system is a legacy input.
Ah,
Uh, and ideally we want to lean away from that. I do go a bit more in detail about special args, particularly a bit later, but in the paragraph after, but it's not really complex.
I see. I see. Partly because it's like it's not part of some overall system like Nix packages. Instead, it's just like its own standalone Lone Ranger sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. For further reading about this topic, please consult this thing. To such, I am usually asked, but I want to be able to track other Nix packages, revisions, or inputs. Then don't I have to? Or set a special arg or something? No! Almost never do what you want to, almost never do you almost never do you want to use special args. Sorry, my English isn't as developed. Special args are great, but often overused for things that the module system was designed to do better. Now, to answer the main question, you can still do that. Allow me to introduce you to packages.standard-environment.hostplatform.system. Yes, and its alias
It's a bit long,
packages.system.
right?
Yeah, it's a little long, but anytime you have this standard env, it feels like you're just adding like an extra layer anyway. So, yeah. So now we can do something more like the following. Whoa. Do you want to explain this maybe?
So packages.stdn, uh, I say it weirdly, I don't know why. Host dot host platform dot system. It will get you basically just what the string is from host platform earlier of x86-64-Linux.
Uh-huh.
Um, I also see that Pico is asking about more automagic hardware configuration. Yeah, hardware like the issue of more automatic hardware configuration, like relying on built-ins dot system, right? I think it's that dot current system. That's impure because it depends on the current system, right? Which is why you have an auto-generated hardware configuration dot nix. A lot of people just forget when they're including this the system argument to lib.nixos system, but they don't actually need it. That was my main gripe because it's just ignored because you have the hardware configuration.nix.
I feel like I'm like, in primary school, and then they had like someone doing a like parent teacher day. They come in and explain what they do for work, and I'm like, uh-huh, uh-huh. I just don't understand anything.
Uh,
Hard, but yeah, I didn't understand any of that automagic hardware stuff, but like, so where are we doing that in here? Like, where are we? I didn't quite follow.
so in this example below, we
Yeah,
have inputs and we have our set of inputs.
yeah,
In this case, that's Nix packages and Nix packages stable. And then from there, we are taking those to the outputs, of which I'm destructuring Nix packages,
here's
and
Nix packages.
which is why you see the curly braces in the output section. And then Nix packages, comma, dot, dot, dot. And then
Yeah,
we're using the at symbol to say we still want to refer to inputs as a whole.
uh-huh,
Um, and then from there, I then go on to show an example using NixOS system where we pass special args and we pass modules. Now, I explicitly say do not pass system as a special arg. I
right.
have seen that far too many times. It's not at all something you should be doing. You, because you can still refer to config.nixpackages.hostplatform.
Is that
And then
that's
you
what we did
also
up
can
here,
see,
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
And then you can also see an example of me using of getting a specific package from Nix packages stable dot legacy packages and using this pkgs dot system dot nil, right? So that we're getting nil from uh the next package's stable input.
Nil is a configuration.
A nil is a package from the
Ah,
stable next
I
packages.
see. It's just a package under the this thing. All right, got it. Well, that's cool. I haven't had to do that personally yet.
Uh, yeah, you end up doing it a lot more when you have more sources than just next packages.
Interesting. Where you need to deal with different versions?
Yeah, I occasionally do it because uh sometimes a package is failing on next packages on the unstable, so I'll add a regression
Oh,
input and then pin from there until
oh,
it's
that
fixed.
makes a lot of sense because it's hard to work in unstable otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Is there more to say about this?
Um, Not much more depth on this part specifically.
All right. Overall, system being an input lib.nixos system was so irritating me so much that I made several Blue Sky posts complaining about it, and went on to make easy hosts as an abstraction around making systems for your systems that will prevent you from making these mistakes and will force you to use the module system more. Oh, that's cool. I think I saw that post and also thought, what is this?
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's a bit of a funny abstraction. It does rely on you using flake parts, which is something that I assume you probably wouldn't have come across
No,
yet.
yeah, anything with the word flake in it, I haven't come across. But I
You'll
thought
get
you
there
hated
eventually.
flakes. You're always posting stop flake. Oh, it's just flake-utils or something.
Yeah, flake-utils. I hate flake-utils.
Is that different from flake?
Yes,
Oh,
flake-utils I hate because they were a really good solution at the time they came out, but then ever since they've become a bit more redundant, but people still keep copying and pasting it.
I see. That's so because it has a life of its own.
Yeah.
Yeah, so funny. I just assumed in my head, oh, from all these posts, I just thought, oh, Isabel hates flakes. Why does she keep talking about it then? System dependent overlays. I sadly am not kidding. These are real. I have seen people do this. First off, overlays should not be consumed with a system like overlays.x86-64 Linux or overlays x68-64 Linux default. Please stop yourself if you ever get here. Instead, overlays should be consumed like source.overlays.name. To improve upon this, consider the following template. Where are the overlays here?
So in this example, we have the outputs, and then straight away we go into overlays.
Ah, here, yeah.
Um, yeah. So I added this PKGS here just to show, for the sake of the examples, where I would show three poor examples of overlays, and finally the best example of an overlay.
Ah, got it.
So ideally, your overlays shouldn't be system dependent, because they should be coming from the user's application of them. So they should depend on the next package's input that the user has rather than your input. So if we see the first one, we're calling it, we have a system dependent one where we're referring to PKGS, which is a so very specific usage of inputs legacy packages. But really, we should be using prev, which is what we do in the final one. And then both of the next two examples are just different um, variations of the first.
Oh, I see. All right. You mean like here we're using prev, the previous call
Yeah.
package. All right.
Have you gone over overlays yet?
Well, I've seen them in kind of like there was a little bit of overlays, like or were they overrides? I forget. but I don't think much.
Overlays are cool, but I wouldn't really say that worth using that much.
Ah, okay, cool. Notice here how I used prev instead of packages or anything alike because we do not need to know what the system is here. Yeah, this seems very awfully over-specific, right?
Yeah,
And if you do wish to refer to the system, recall how earlier I spoke of packages.system. Well, prev, like packages, will also expose system, so you can use prev.system. Oh, that's good information. Sometimes I feel like all of this stuff is like, yeah, do it this way because conventionally it's better, like it's more generic, but nothing forces you to do it that way. I think that's why you're bringing this all up.
yeah. Flakes are sadly a very loose thing. Well, they're actually pretty well defined, but they also allow you to be very loose at the same time because you're allowed to have any name inside of your overlays, which is why you're able to fall into the pitfall of defining a system dependent out overlay output, which is, an issue.
Yeah.
Also, I see good and bad labels might be something Pico recommended that I do, and I see now exactly why he says that reading it back with you.
Oh, right, right. The way you did it over here somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Big X. Bad. Stop importing Nix packages. It feels like you need to put exclamation parts here and some angry faces. All the time I see people writing some form of the following. Input Nix packages URL, something here. Outputs equal Nix packages, comma, and then we're importing. Hey, I feel like I do this a lot. So let's.
Yeah, this may or may not have been partly inspired by you.
Oh
Um,
no.
so with the first example, it's going to use built-ins.current system, which is impure, as I state in the paragraph.
Wait, wait,
And
wait, wait. Where's the built? Which built-in?
built-ins.current system.
Is that in here?
Uh,
Uh, oh,
oh no, no,
you.
no. That's something that Nix packages slash
Ah,
default.nix will
okay,
do,
okay. Yeah, I got
which
it.
is an impure function, right?
Yeah,
Uh, so then it means that strictly speaking, your outputs are not reproducible.
right.
And it also means that flakes, which are inherently pure, will not allow you, will cause an error.
All right. Which, so basically, when you do that, your script becomes, is sort of impure because it's going to grab the system and everything like that, and it
Yeah,
won't be the same for everyone. So it's not a good habit to have.
exactly.
Ah, well, it's so much easier. So what am I supposed to do then?
If you see the second example where we
Yeah,
define
I'm looking
system,
at it.
this would be a better version. Um, though I also still wouldn't recommend that because we have legacy packages,
Right.
which works pretty much the same. Legacy packages is just a pre-imported version of Nix packages. Uh,
Pre-imported. Imported just means it evaluates it, no?
yes, but they also pre-import it and prepare it for you so you can use it. And then here you only have to refer to Nix packages.legacy packages.system rather than having to go through any loops and importing it.
Oh, I see. But now I've hard-coded Arch64 Linux.
You have, and that's why we go on to a later section where
Yeah,
I explain that I have written about this one before in my two other Nix posts, and I made this function called for all systems, which will allow you to approve on the pattern, which will allow you to generate system outputs for your packages
Oh,
and
wow.
anything else that's system dependent. So in this case, we're using lib.systems.flakeexposed, and that means that it's going to generate uh, outputs for all of the systems that flakes are able to use, that are able to use flakes. Sorry.
Oh, so is that basically cross-compiling then?
No, it's just giving you outputs. You can, I guess, cross-compile, but it's more like system-dependent outputs.
Ah, okay. Um, so outputs are a little bit like, oh, I see, you're going to call package, so it's going to, well, I guess I'll see, I'll learn more. And then what's this last one here for?
Um,
For all systems, I would recommend modifying the function to align with the following.
oh yes, this is for cases where you need to allow unfree packages, allow broken packages, or potentially even include overlays.
And unfree, is this the whole like open source thing? Like,
This is unfree open source type, yes.
yeah, okay, got it. Yeah, I know that like I know there were some vague issues there, but I don't really know how that works. So,
Yeah,
okay.
because by default, I believe it will prevent building and give you an error if you include unfree packages.
Oh, got it, got it. Stop using flake-utils. This sounds like another thing, or can we, do you have time to talk about this?
This one I will, because this is my biggest rant, really. This was the climax of the post.
There we go.
Um, so oftentimes we flake util is used as a dependency that's added for no particularly good reason, in my opinion. Uh, the main use case for it in modern days is for using the overridable systems, which are provided by the GitHub org Nix systems, run by Zimbatum. I don't know how to pronounce their name, but I think they are genuinely an awesome person. They're also the same person that made Flake Utils in the first case. Um, and I think that really we don't need it because Flake Utils is designed for creating system dependent outputs, right? But then a lot of people fall into this pit, this trap where they accidentally make system dependent overlays by using Flake Utils. Now, I didn't give a bad example of a Flake Utils here. I could have, I probably should have, but instead, I say, okay, record the for all systems function we made before, and
Yeah.
we're going to use that. And I also show how to use the systems input from Nix systems so that we have the overridable systems that flake-utils would have given you if you did use modern day flake-utils. And then the example is just a little walkthrough of that.
That is cool. I don't even, okay. I think I'm gonna have to come back to this video later once I learn about flakes because so much of this is based on it. But yeah,
Yeah, most of my rambles tend to be based around flakes, to be honest.
conclusion, I was never mad at you. I was just disappointed. But now you know better. So go forth and write better next code. So for me, I think I can try to grok this sort of like stop importing Nix packages. I see why, especially just doing it the way I do it with just the angle brackets. It's just like super lazy and easy way to do it.
Yeah, and it's not reproducible with the angle brackets.
Right, right,
But
exactly.
it's totally fine for you to import Nix packages, but because you've not got flakes, so
Right,
yeah.
right. And I'm using it to learn the rest of Nix, not really to push any like new Nix package or anything like that. But eventually, I think it's really important if you are to know the right way to do it, right?
Yeah, I 100% think so. Um I have a few Nix projects that are absolutely devastating to look at because I'm so self-involved in this sense of correctness, I guess.
Right.
Um, so I mean, like potentially it's a bit overkill, but hey,
No, that sounds great. Do you play any chess ever?
I do, yes.
You know, like how they have those videos where it's like guess the elo and it's like 300 or something like that? We should do things where you review like someone's nicks and you're like, "Oh my God."
Guess the Knicks. How many years have they been doing Knicks
Yeah,
for?
right? Is it like what number nicks submission is this? No, this is number one for sure.
Is this their first Knicks packages contribution or their 100th?
Right, exactly. Order of magnitude, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, I'll let you get to your revisions. When's the exam, or is this for just general?
Uh, I have the exam on Thursday this week.
All right, well, you have what, 2 days? No, 3 days. You're good.
3 days of revising AVL trees. Yippee.
Yay. Thanks for chatting with me, Isabel. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me and talking about a rant post about something that's really hard without understanding flakes.
Well, I feel so much better knowing that this isn't just because I just am like dumb and I didn't like pay attention to all the other stuff. It's just that I haven't gone to most of this.
Yeah, a lot of it's not that you've gotten there yet.
All right. Thanks. I'll talk to you later.
All right, thanks for having me.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. All right. There we go.